Hi, this is Dave and welcome to the Table, and today we're going to be taking a look at a small box game from Garfield Games called Woodlands. And what this is a strategic card game in which you're going to be playing cards out of your hand from these different animal clans in the forest, and you're going to be placing them into different battles at these different burrows. And what you're going to be doing is at the end, hopefully you have your loyalties aligned with the clans that win the battles at all these different burrows. Let's take a look at the game. I'll show you how it's played and I'll come back and I'll give you my thoughts. Okay, here I have Woodlands set up for 2 players, and the way the game is set up is we have set up each of these clans. There's a burrow card at the bottom of each of these. Each of the clans have their own warrior cards. They've been sorted and shuffled up. And then what we do is we draw cards off of each of the different clans equal to the number of players plus 2, shuffle all those cards, and deal each player a hand of 7 cards. Any leftover cards are removed from the game. They're not going to be used. And so, for example, in this player's hand here, we will have 7 cards made up of warriors of different clans. So, for example, here it looks like we've got a number of foxes. We have some badgers. We have some squirrels, another fox. But we have, in here, we have skunks, we have badgers, we have raccoons, foxes, and squirrels. And the other player has 7 cards as well. And what we're going to try to do is, there is a war in this woods. There's going to be battles between these different clans. And what you're going to try to do is place cards to influence the war in your favor. And you're also going to be wanting to make sure that you have cards in your hand at the end of the game that are going to give you loyalty to the strongest clans in order to score points. And so let me show you what a few turns are going to look like, and then what we will do is fast forward to the end of the game so you can see what it's going to look like and how scoring is going to go. And so on our turn, what we're going to do is we are going to place cards from our hand out onto here, building out from each of the clans. We're either going to play cards from the same clan to defend, or we're going to be attacking. So we're going to see how this is going to go. There are some rules for placing the cards. First of all, we can play any number of cards as long as they are from the same clan and the same value. However, you can place them and in any clan that you would like. But there are some rules for placing them. First of all, we have to be aware of the values of cards that are here. So for example, we have a lot of high value cards. We have some 4s here, 2 3s, and a 2, and the card values go from 2 through 4. So if I wanted to place a card, I would have to play at least the equal value or higher. And so if I wanted to play multiple cards, I could, as long as they're the same value. So if I wanted to play these 2 foxes, I can either place them here because it's the same clan, and it's okay if it's lower than this value because we're looking at this top one first. But I can also take these 2 and I can place them over here by the skunks because it is the same value as this. I would not be able to place them here because 2 is lower than the other ones. Once I have done that, now I'm going to draw cards from my hand back up so that I have a hand of 7 cards, and I can draw them from any clans that I want. So if I'm looking around, I don't have any raccoons, and maybe I would like to have another one. So I'm going to draw 2 raccoon cards into my hand. It's going to be the next player's turn, and so they likewise are going to do the same thing. They're going to look. Let's say, for example, we want to do this. We'll put some 3s down over here, and we'll draw one of these and a skunk over here. And we're going to be making decisions here, looking at to where we're going to win battles, and we're going to want to try to have some loyalty points. And so sometimes you can play just a single card. If it was back to this player's turn, we could play this 2 over here. And the reason that we can play this 2, we're always looking at the last card here. We have to play at least that value or higher. I could play this 2, it's lower because it's of the same clan. So I could play this raccoon here. So may seem a little bit confusing, but it's basically we can play any value card of that same clan. Otherwise, we have to respect the numerical values of the cards before it. So let me fast forward this game, and I will show you what it's going to look like towards the end. Okay, here we are at the end, and what we've done is played out until there are 2 burrow cards exposed, and that's going to trigger the end of the game. And what's going to happen then is each player is going to reveal their hand of 7 cards, and I have them arranged here by clan type, and this is going to represent the amount of loyalty points we have to each of the clans. Now, next thing that we're going to do is we are going to resolve each of these battles at each of these different burrows, starting with the badger and moving in a clockwise direction. And what we're going to do then is, using even the top card there, we are going to see who has the most points played on each one. So if we're looking at the badgers, we have 3 plus another 3 here is 6 points. Next we'll look at the raccoons. There's a 4, a 3, and a 3. That's 10 points. The foxes, there's 3, 4, and 3. That's another 10 points. We have 4 for the squirrels, and there were no skunks that were played there. So we have a tie between the two factions of the raccoons and the foxes, and so they're going to form an alliance, and whoever has the most influence points in their hand of those 2 clans is going to win. We only have 6 points with the fox here. We have 7 with the fox here, plus 4 for the raccoon. So this player is going to win, and they'll take one of these victory point cubes. We're going to move on to the next one here and resolve this one. And so we're going to look at the raccoons. The raccoons have 2, 4, and then there's another 2 that's 6 plus 3 is 9. So we have 9 for the raccoons. We have 8 for the skunks, 5 for the badgers, and there is 6 for the squirrels. And so we're going to look, and the winner again is going to be 9 points for the raccoons. This player again is going to win. We're going to continue going around looking at these, looking to see who is going to have the most points. Again, determining through each of these 5 clans, whoever ends up with the most victory point cubes is going to be the winner, and that is Woodlands. Alright, let's talk about Woodlands. And before I talk about the game, I want to talk about the artwork for this, because I think that the artwork is spectacular. I mean, even if we look at the box cover here and how these characters are portrayed, I really like the style in which the artist has used in here and how they're drawn up. I think that you take these furry little creatures and all of a sudden you give them weapons and you can make them look pretty cool. I really think the skunks look pretty tough in here, and I think the squirrels look awesome too, and so just a really, really well done art style. Now we get into this game, and there is quite a bit of card manipulating, and you're playing it all over, and this game is going to fall into, if you are a fan of Lost Cities or Arboretum, this is going to be a game that is right up your alley, because you are playing cards out of your hand into these different battles, and you're trying to beef up specific clans, but you're also trying to make sure that at the end of the game that you have loyalty to specific clans that are going to be winning the battles. So it's going to be constantly looking around, playing cards onto specific clan, to specific burrows, and then making sure that you're drawing up the right cards into your hand. And so from turn to turn, it's going to be changing, because you're going to see this ever evolving battle in all of these different burrow locations. So you may think like that one of the clans has it wrapped up in one spot, and all of a sudden another player is going to drop a number of cards all of the same type and could swing the battle all the way around. So for example, maybe you think that the squirrels have it going at this one particular burrow, and all of a sudden the player drops 9 points worth of badgers there. Well, that's going to swing the battle. All of a sudden now the badgers are way out in front, and you're going to maybe want to try to draw badger cards into your hand so that you have the most influence points and hope that they win the battle, maybe even contribute to their cause through your turn. So turn after turn after turn, you're going to be constantly challenged with playing cards into the right spots and trying to swing the battles, and then also making sure that you have cards holding it on at the end. So, you know, as you're starting to build up all these things in your hand, are you going to want to play a particular warrior card with a value of 4 on a location, knowing that, yeah, it could affect the battle immensely, but you're giving up 4 points worth of influence in your hand. So that's the main thing that you're going to think about in this game. It's a really, really cool game that plays rather quickly. Game can take roughly 20 minutes. It's just a matter of thinking about things. People who have a little bit of like that mathiness in their head may take a little bit longer on their turns as they're trying to calculate things. But the more people that play, there's going to be a little bit more of the chaos involved, because it's going to be really, really hard to plan ahead. You're going to have to be in the moment in this game. But you can still do a little bit of forward planning, knowing that as you see specific things there, to make sure that you try to have cards aligned a specific way so that your loyalties line up with the winning clans. So I think Woodlands is a really, really neat game. Like I said, I like games like Lost Cities and Arboretum. This game falls into that type of card game where you're making decisions as to which ones to play, which ones to hold on in your hand. So really, really well done by designer Shem Phillips. I'm really impressed with the games that he has been creating. I have a number of other ones that he has done as well. And so if you don't know him, this is a guy out of New Zealand, and I'm really excited to see what other stuff that he is going to be creating as time goes on. And so this is Woodlands from Garfield Games. All right, that's it for now, and join me again next time as we take a look at another game and we see how it makes it to the table. Bye-bye.